Today we're going to go through a quick 3-way test for removing water spots. We're going to try vinegar, turtle wax iron remover, and my normal go-to, Meguiar's Ultimate Compound. Eventually I want to try a dedicated water spot remover, but don't have any in my kit here. If you have any recommendations for one you'd like to see me test, by all means drop it in the comment section below. These videos are not sponsored, and all products are ones I've purchased on my own. With that out of the way, let's get started. We're going to start off with clay barring the area we're working on to make sure the surface level contaminants are removed and to even out the field for all three products. For clay lube, we're using our standard Optimum No Rinse, or ONR, mixture. Here, we can see that after clay barring the surface, it did a whole bunch of nothing for removing the water spots. Not that I expected it to remove them, mind you. Before we begin actually testing the products, we're going to mask off the areas that we'll be working on. Now I'll admit, I wasn't entirely sure what I was supposed to be doing with the vinegar and iron remover, so I just liberally sprayed them on the surface and let them dwell for approximately 1 minute before wiping them off. I've read online many times and in many forums and community posts about using these two products for removing water spots, but no one has ever actually said how to utilize them for it. So I figured letting them dwell on the surface and letting the reactive properties of the products do their thing would be the best method. After sitting for about a minute, I used 2 separate cloths and wiped them off and buffed the surface. For the iron remover, you should definitely come back with a notable amount of water and make sure all residue is removed. Since it was on glass, I wasn't too concerned here, but at the end of the video, I do make sure it's completely removed. As we can see, the vinegar and iron remover didn't seem to do much of anything. Now I admit it could be an application method or process here, and if that's the case, by all means, let me know in the comments below and I'll redo the tests. Now it's time to move on to ultimate compound. This could be done by hand, but I'm lazy, so that's not an option to me. We're going to be using the Milwaukee Dual Action Polisher with a Buff and Shine Eurofiber pad. All we need to use for ultimate compound is 4 dime-sized dollops on the pad, press it to the surface, spread it around a little bit, and start polishing it in, starting at the lowest speed setting before ramping up our speeds to minimize slinging of products. Also, I want to apologize for the weird camera shakiness here. I had to have the camera on the car as I don't have a setup in my garage yet for overhead angles or anything like that, and the buffer vibrated the tripod something fierce. I tried fixing it in post-production, but it is still a bit wobbly. After you've done a few passes with the buffer, you'll want to remove any excess polish, which, fortunately, Ultimate Compound leaves very little to buff away. Once it's wiped away, we can inspect the surface and see how it does. Heading through from the vinegar to the iron decon and finally to the actual polishing, we can see that only the polishing actually removed the water spots. And again, with the products actually sitting on the car, it's amazing the difference between polishing and just the chemicals. Again, I may have done something wrong, and if I did, by all means, let me know in the comments below. Before ending this section, I used a quick pass of Turtle Wax's 3-in-1 ceramic detailer to clean off the residue from the vinegar and iron decon. Now, I had originally planned to end the video there, but as you can hear, there was a massive storm outside and my garage is not directly connected to my house, so I decided to bust out the Meguiar's M110 and see how it compared to Ultimate Compound for removing the water spots. The process here is identical to Ultimate Compound, just 4 dime-sized dollops and buff away. I'll speed this up a good bit so we're not just watching me buff again. This video wasn't nearly as shaky, so speeding it up shouldn't cause issues with motion sickness, hopefully. While we're waiting for that to finish though, if you like the content I'm putting out, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all new content as it comes out. We also have channel memberships and am working on a small shop for the channel, so if there's anything you'd like to see in either of those, by all means, let me know in the comments below. We can see the M110 did just as good of a job as the Ultimate Compound, which is honestly what I had expected. Though personally, I would just use Ultimate Compound for this kind of thing since it is cheaper and easier to come by than M110. But that is all for this video, and I hope you found it helpful. Thank you so much for watching, take care. And before we end the video, a quick shout out to our channel members. Dobby Lapoos,